welcome back to my podcast, Hot.Mess.Knits. Today is episode 4. Woohoo! Been busy in life in general, crafting, and then I feel like I'm like kicking up on sewing, so more to come on that. I'm excited to be diving into doing more of that because I've only really done just like sewing bags, and that's about it. So I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. Single, hopefully you treated yourself to something nice. Hopefully your significant other showed their love and gratitude for you. My hubby, he got me these orchids over here in the, hopefully you guys can see it, it's pink. So usually he doesn't get me flowers that go in a vase. He's done it here and there in the past, but he knows I'm like, okay, well, they're beautiful for, a week or two and then I have to throw them away. But he knows I like plants and flowers, that hopefully I can keep alive and, have them around the house and whatnot. So he got me an orchid, which I don't have any of those, so that's nice. And then we were also out in town, 40 minutes away, to the nearest Walmart, and there's Home Depot over there and all that good stuff. So we happened to pop in Home Depot, and they always have amazing succulents. And so I got this nice big bowl of a variety of them, and my youngest son, he picked out just this little guy, this little succulent, and just this little thing, which is over there too. And he wanted his own plant, so by all means, I'm not gonna stop him. So moving on, I think the last time on the last episode I mentioned that I was making a crochet garland, and if you follow me on Instagram, Hot.Mess.Knits, I did post it on there, but it was hard to get a good picture because of, I guess maybe because of the lighting. I had it in this window over here, draped across it, and it was perfect length, and I didn't even measure it, so it worked out great. But I took it down since it's now Valentine's Day is over. I usually leave it up until the end of February, my Valentine's stuff, because it's just the month of February, why not? But I took it down so I can actually show you guys a better representation of it. So I started out with just, a couple plain flowers, hearts, and then I decided to do bee, and then I put a white heart to break up the words, and then mine. And I just simply embroidered it on because I didn't have any felt. So I just kind of improvised, why not? Make it your own, do your own thing. But it turned out super cute. I mean, my embroidery skills are crap, but, at the end of the day, as long as I like it, that is all that matters. It was for myself, for my house. And the kids, I guess they don't care too much, but I love it. And that's that. So I'm going to put that aside so it's not taking up my whole table. And then, do I want to do whips first? Well, I guess we're doing FOs because I just showed you the conversation heart garland, which is by Twinkie Chan, by the way. You can find it on Ravelry, but the link will take you to her blog post where she, has the pattern on there free, and I love it. I love Twinkie Chan. I really need to buy more of her things, more of her patterns, or find more of her patterns because her style is, I love it. And then over, like in between this past episode, I know I needed more dishy scrubbies, so I've got one ready at my sink. I didn't really pay attention to how much I was casting on. I just was like, whatever, I'm just making some. So I made, this one's crocheted, and I just held a strand of the Red Heart dish scrubby together with some cotton yarn and just crocheted, what was it, how many rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 rounds, just increasing. So, it works great. And then I went ahead and knitted a few. Same thing, held, a strand of each together. This one's a little longer. I love it. And then just, you know, different cotton. I mean, you can't beat, it's washable, pretty cheap to buy, you know. I think cotton yarn is maybe like $1 for a ball of yarn, a ball of cotton. The dish scrubby, maybe, I don't know, $2 or $3, I think, at Joann's. And I mean, that lasted me through quite a few scrubbies just because it's so thin. So, I mean, it's great. No problems whatsoever. And then another thing I've been working on a lot recently, which I have some finished ones, is mug cozies. I had made a bunch of them in the past that I tried selling and didn't really make a whole lot. And so I have a couple of friends back in Wisconsin who own their own coffee shop. And they said, you know, why don't you, you know, put some of your stuff out here? And I was like, okay, worth a shot. Why not? It's just collecting dust in my bucket. I mean, I could gift them, which is what I was planning on doing anyway for Christmas this upcoming year. But, well, they ended up selling. So I have been making more of them. And so, I mean, it's nothing crazy. You know, just crocheting them just because it seems to work easier and I can make more of them quickly to be able to send out. And so I just, you know, different colors, adding a button to make it loop around. And with Valentine's Day being over, and I know upcoming is going to be St. Patty's Day, and the owners of the shops, my friends, they are Irish out the yin yang. So I thought, how cute would it be to make some St. Patty's Day themed mug cozies. So I made a shamrock, and then I decided to do like a pot of gold and a rainbow, and I have some of that rainbow hand spun yarn that I used. So I thought, how cute would it be to just, you know, use that where it's got different colors in it. But they turned out adorable. So I made 2 of them, but I mean, it did take me a hot minute to make all the little details and sew them all on. So I don't really want to make a bunch of them. So, you know, I'll have a couple, that'll be great. And then I'll have more like the ones that I can whip up a little quicker because I want to be able to mail it out soon. And then also made to-go mug, well, it's not a mug, to-go cup cozies. So same thing, but I just stuck with just a shamrock to add on to there. And they're just so cute. And I made one accidentally a little too big, which I don't have it up here, but I figured that one I'll keep for myself or at home for fun. But that's something that is an FO, well, and ongoing, but these ones are done. So I thought I would share that because they're just so freaking cute. And it's nothing crazy. I mean, for, I don't know, your standard small mug, I just cast on, 40 stitches, I do believe, with an F hook, just so it was a little tighter. And just did 2 single crochet rows, and then, or rounds, connected it in the round, and then I was skipping 2 stitches, and then I was just doing rows back and forth until it was the height that I wanted. And I mean, it really pretty simple, but I love it. All right, and then so we'll jump back into whips, since I mean that's what I was gonna actually do first, and then I got so excited to show you guys the conversation heart garland. So we'll go back over into whips. I have an obsession with owls. Harry Potter and owls. Those are my obsession as far as decor, mugs, fabric, whatever. Love it. Alright, so I really need to kick my butt in gear on working more on this blanket that's crocheted. I mean, I got a good chunk done. I'm going to leave it just folded up, but like the last time, I had the last episode, which was 3 weeks ago. This is where I ended when I showed you guys. So, I mean, I got all the way up to here. So, I mean, it's not bad, But honestly, I know I need to get this done because I've got other blankets I know I need to make. So I really need it. That's probably what I'll do this week. My kids are off of school this week. They have their winter break. They have like Christmas break and then they have winter break. It's really weird because I know back home in Wisconsin, they don't have a winter break in February. And we do get a week off for Easter too. So I don't know. It's weird, but in any case, I don't have, like, I can stay up late, but my problem is if I'm too tired, then I end up messing up what I'm working on. But I really need to, like, get on it and, like, just knock this out because I'm hoping the next time I'm talking to you guys that I'm showing a finished blanket. So we will see how far that goes. I'm trying to remember if I showed you guys. I don't think I showed you guys no, I wasn't working on that sweater. So that dark water sweater, I know I showed you guys that was something that I was going to want to make. And it's the dark water sweater by Jennifer Steingass. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So you guys, I did a thing, which is probably why I haven't been working on that blanket or much of anything else because I've been obsessed. So I cast it on. I think it was the beginning of this month. And I've got the yoke done. I just split for like the armholes for the sleeves. But you guys, I cannot even. It is beautiful. And I'm proud of myself. I've never really done color work. I've only made that one chunky sweater. And that's all I've really done as far as like garments or things like that. So this is turning out beautiful. I'm hoping that it fits because I did a gauge swatch. And I redid a gauge swatch like 3 or 4 times with different needles. And I ended up going down three needle sizes. And I got to where my rose, the gauge for the rose was on point at that at the last needle size that I, jumped down to. But I was still off by 1 or 2 stitches going across. I'm trying to think of what way it was. If I had too many or not enough. I think it was not enough. Because, yeah, I was going down needle sizes. Yeah, so there were not enough stitches. So, since my rows were on point, I mean, I know that was probably easier to fix. I don't know, but I don't know a whole lot as far as making things work in that sense. So, I'm crossing my fingers that it works. What I ended up doing, because I still was shy a stitch or 2, and that was it. No more than that. It was like 1 or 2 stitches. Maybe I think it was 2 stitches, yes. That's what it was. And so I just ended up going up a size in the pattern, and I'm hoping that it'll equal out to being the right size. I think it's gonna be okay, honestly. Just kind of looking at it, and there is some, it actually has positive ease in it as well. So I think the combination of the positive ease and going up a size in the pattern, I think I'm going to be okay. But this thing is freaking ridiculous. I'm obsessed. I had to make myself put it away for like a week so I could actually try to get other things done, including housework, and other projects that I know I needed to work on. Like I've been putting off casting on socks for the month of February. The hazelnut socks, that was my plan, and that's what I cast on. And sadly, this is all that I've gotten done so far. Just the cuff of one sock. Am I going to get these pair of socks done by the end of February? Probably not, but I'm going to try, because that was one of my goals, was to try to knit a pair of socks every month. 1 pair. So we'll see. But that's what I'm going to try to focus on. And this was, I didn't talk about the yarn. Even though I mentioned it in the last episode, The purple color is a skein of yarn that I won through a giveaway from Long Meadow Farm, which is actually here in New York, which is really cool. And it's a one-of-a-kind colorway, so there is no more, there's no getting another skein of this. So, which is why hopefully the Verdant Griffin Bugga yarn that I found in my stash, I'm hoping that it'll blend in okay and go okay with this, because I didn't want to have to spend any extra money. I wanted to try to use what I had, so I'm really hoping that it works okay. And then what I did the Fair Isle or color work in, oh man, let me move this out of the way. Not in my coffee. The color work, that's actually a bare skein of yarn from Knit Picks that was a fingering weight, and I dyed it myself. So it's got the speckly color, and it does have, you know, some red in it. It's got all sorts of colors, but I'm hoping that that might help tie in the more red maroon color of the red Verdant Griffin Bugga yarn. So we'll see when I get to that point. This is how much I've got left of this. So hopefully I don't mess myself up, but I gotta make sure I save enough for the sleeves so that way I can fade those out, fade those into the other color as well. So I'm just gonna have to be careful on that. And that's all I have for whips and finished objects, because I'm a hot mess. I did want to talk about some sewing stuff, since that is like my current obsession. I haven't even busted out my sewing machine yet, but I have like all these plans. I recently came across people posting their dresses made from 100 acts of sewing, dress number 1, and I went a little cray-cray on fabric, at least looking, trying to find stuff that was affordable and that I liked, and just like, you know, online shopping, you could shop forever on your butt, and then, you know, save your card or save where you're at and then go back at it. So I've been doing a lot of that. I think what kind of got me on the bandwagon of wanting to make my own clothes is my youngest son. His robe doesn't quite fit him right, and so I was like, okay, well, why don't I just get a robe pattern and I make him a robe? You know, in his size, I can go up a size or 2, or, you know, that way it can grow with him, kind of thing. And so we were at Joann's, and I found he wanted Minecraft, but they didn't have any flannel, and the fleece was not on sale, and they didn't have any good coupons at that point. So I was like, okay, well, let's look at flannel, and then that way it's not too heavy going into spring and, you know, maybe even summer if he wanted to. It's not as bad as fleece. And I know he loves sushi. Anytime we go out to a Japanese restaurant, oh, he loves sushi. He'll steal mine. I'll order him his own. He loves it. So this is just too freaking cute. The little faces on it. And so anything that's left over, if I have enough to make myself a bag, not that I need any more project bags, I'm totally making myself one, because this fabric is adorable. Yeah, it's flannel. It's not typically used to make a project bag, but I don't care. I just love the print. So that's going to be his robe. And then there was not enough left on the bolt, because otherwise I totally would have made myself a robe with that fabric. But I did find llama llama. So I will settle for that. I will make myself a llama robe. So that's going to be a fun project. I'm waiting on the patterns to come in the mail, because I was going to get it at Joann's, and I go to look in the drawer, the pattern drawer, and they're all out. So I'm like, okay, go home, look online. And so I was going to order off of there, off of Joann's, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know if I want to pay $15 for that. And so I was like, you know, it's Simplicity. That's the pattern. And so I went to their website and found it on there for $5. So I was like, heck yes. So I added that to my cart, and then I started thinking, you know, it would be cool to get a dress pattern, like to make dresses for myself. So, and that's where it all started. So I was looking on there, and I found 2 different patterns that actually had several patterns in each pack. And FYI, in case anybody was wondering, the robe pattern that I'm going to be using is Simplicity 1562. And then the 2 dress patterns that I also got through simplicity.com is actually their line New Look. But it's 6340 and 6352. So a lot of them are more of the A-line dress form. They had like the sleeveless dresses. They had one that, you know, just like a little sleeve to it for short sleeve. Some were like knee length. There was one that was longer than that. So different variations, which is fantastic. And both of them are listed as easy patterns that you know should be good for beginners like me, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Even these project bags that I make just for fun, I'm pretty sure I'm breaking all the sewing rules that maybe go with sewing, but I'm just going with the flow, watching YouTube tutorials and making it work. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. So whatever, right? Alright, I think that, yeah, that's all I have to show. So I am going to knit and talk just for a little bit. Hopefully I don't drop any stitches. I made a tangle out of my stuff here when I dropped it earlier. Alright. Alright, so I was talking about sewing stuff. So I'm going to knit while I'm talking about sewing stuff. And that's going to be pretty much all I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the video. So for anybody that doesn't give 2 shits about sewing, bye. Thank you for joining me for the knitting, crocheting portion of my episode. Stick around if you just want to watch me knit and hear me talk about sewing stuff. So another pattern that I am waiting to get in the mail, and the reason why I went ahead and did that is because one of the 3 patterns that I got from simplicity.com is back ordered. So I'm like, really? And so then I was looking at more patterns and all sorts of stuff, and I came across a buttload of people posting 100 axis sewing dress number 1, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and there's like I think 2 or 3 different dresses, and then there's pants and a skirt. And I loved the simplicity of it, like how simple it was. There wasn't too much crazy. So again, probably great for a beginner like me. And so I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get this. It was a hard one to swallow. As far as the price point goes, it's $17 plus shipping, which was only a couple bucks. But I was like, I'll admit it, I'm pretty much a cheap person. I can thank my dad for that because he's a penny pincher all the way. And he will legit bargain with people at Walmart, Target, and try to get like a discount, like I'll take it for this much. And he'll be like, oh, well fine, I'm gonna go to Target and I'm gonna get it there because I'm sure I can get a better deal there, or vice versa if he's at Target talking about Walmart. Oh man, so many embarrassing moments with my dad. I love him to death and it's hilarious, but yeah, I think that's probably where I get it from. I don't want to spend a bunch of money if I don't have to. But it's a awesome small, well, it's a company, it's a small company, but ran by one woman, and I love her statement behind the whole thing of her patterns, where you know, it fits from extra small to 4X. I mean, it's for everybody, and I think it's amazing. So I was like, you know what, suck it up, Shayna. You can pay $17 for this one pattern. It's not going to kill you. So I went ahead and ordered that. So I'm not sure if that'll come before my Simplicity patterns. And then I ordered fabric from, because I was looking at different places, and Joann's isn't bad, but I got the inspiration and ideas from looking at like hashtag 100X of sewing dress, you know, dress 1 or dress number 1 on there, where people are, you know, tagging where they got their fabric from and things like that. And I'm like, I love the prints that a lot of these, you know, women are making, you know, that we're wearing those dresses. And so I went on a hunt and found fabric.com, super cute prints, patterns. They had sales, which is so nice, because paying anything more than $10 a yard is like frightening to me, especially since I don't know what I'm doing, in that sense that I don't want to like jack up some nice expensive fabric and then be like, oh cool, I ruined it, I have to throw it away, what a waste. So I went with sale, things that were on sale, but with prints that I would wear. I stuck to pretty much cotton or cotton linen, because that is what was recommended for the patterns, was to go with more of a cotton. I might have mentioned linen, I think. So I kind of went with like a blend or just all cotton. And so I scored a couple of deals on fabric.com for stuff that was on sale. So I ended up getting a couple different fabrics that I just actually ordered yesterday. So it won't be here for probably another week, probably a week. I think it said 5 to 7 days. So it'll probably take about that. I should have looked and seen where their warehouse is and where it's shipping out of, because if it's anywhere nearby, then it won't take as long once it ships. So we'll see. But I ended up getting 3 fabrics for dresses, and then I got 1 yard of one fabric for a project bag because it was just adorable. Like the sushi flannel that I showed you, this was a non-flannel, but it was Tomodachi bento box print, which similar thing. It has, I think, a couple little faces on it, and it's adorable. And in case I didn't already mention, I am part Japanese, so that's my little obsession with the sushi and the little faces. And I think, I know I talked about Stitch or Progress Keepers, that I got little sushi with their faces on them. So obsession, to say the least, along with my owls and Harry Potter. So I add that to my list. But the prints that I ended up getting for my dresses, one was a herringbone in like a deep navy blue, and then like the white contrast for the herringbone pattern on it. That's something I would totally wear. And I love that it makes it look a little more modern-y. And then, go figure, I go from something like that, and my other 2 fabrics I picked out are more retro vintage feeling. One of them is like a cream background with a cherry type pattern on it. And that was actually, part of the name was something about vintage cherries, something or another. But it was super cute. And then I also ended up going with a red fabric that, what was it? Red pin dots. So it was like a red background with white pin dots. And they had some that were like the bigger polka dots, but I don't know, I liked the more subtle look to the pin dots. So that's another one that'll be kind of vintagey. And if it's the right shade of red in the cherries, because I love pockets, so I'm going to add pockets to my dresses. And I might use, like, you know, the cherry, part of the cherry fabric to put on the pin dress, or the pin dot dress, and the pin dots on the cherry dress, if it works to be the right red. Otherwise, it might not look correct. So that's something that I'm excited to make. And then I was looking for more Japanese related fabrics, and they had one that I really liked on fabric.com, but it was unavailable. So then I kept on the hunt of looking at more fabric, pretty much how I spent a lot of my night last night. And I came across an awesome website that is based in Tokyo or just outside of Tokyo. And I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but it's called missmatatabi.com. And it's Japanese fabrics. I have already created a wish list of some of the traditional prints that they had, and some that were very cute and more modern-y, and oh my gosh. My husband's gonna hate me by the time I'm done ordering from there. So I'm hoping in the by the end of next month that I can place an order on there. The shipping, I think they said a $13 flat rate for shipping international for orders on orders $100 or more. And to be honest, I could easily purchase that much. All I need is really like 2 3/4 of in yards for a dress. My hope is to make a dress out of traditional fabric for my mom. I feel like it's something that she might treasure and love, and it helps. My grandma died next month. It'll have been a year that my mom's mom, has died, and she was from Japan. And like, I'm really kicking myself in the butt. Like, I wish I was getting into this sewing thing that when she was still here, because just some of the symbols and things like that that's on the fabric, I wish I could ask her, what does this what does this mean, and to understand more of it. And it's a shame that you realize these things kind of after. At the same time, I can't help that I wasn't into sewing at that point, when she was here, but it is what it is. But it makes next month a hard time, and I wish I could have had that fabric to send to her, to go with the next month, but it's not going to happen. So I'll hopefully be able to have it ordered, received, made by the time we go out to Wisconsin to visit this summer. But yeah, that website is amazing. And if any of you guys that are stuck around to listen about sewing, if you guys have any websites or shops that have an online shop that you guys like to shop at, that the fabric is great, or deals or whatever, please let me know. Because I'm still very much a newbie in exploring different places that I can order from, or that sometimes you don't know how the fabric's gonna be, or how the customer service is, or whatever. So it's nice to get suggestions from people. There was something I was gonna talk about. Oh, which I should have mentioned earlier, because in case anybody that was not interested in sewing jumped off, I forgot to mention that I did recently open up a Ravelry group, or a group on Ravelry forum for the Knitting Podcast. So I'm going to be uploading the show notes on Ravelry on there, and I've got a couple threads going, like, hi new friends, for you guys to introduce yourselves and say a little something about yourself, because I thought I think it's nice to be able to talk to everybody and form like a little family. So that's up, and then I'll be trying to start knit-alongs or craft-alongs, different things. I definitely want that to grow, but I don't really want to start anything because right now it's only me in there. So once everybody starts hopping on or joining and introducing themselves, there's a thread for if you guys have any questions or comments about my podcast or suggestions. I will gladly take them. So all that kind of stuff is going to be going on. this year. Actually, if you guys have any suggestions for knit-alongs, things that you would be interested in doing, or, you know, whether it be a specific pattern or like a broad range of, like, you know, the sweater knit-alongs, you know, knit your own sweater, whatever pattern, doesn't matter, or shawls. Like, I think something like that might be something I might look into starting, is something a little more generic that way, where, yeah, it's kind of a theme, like, you know, if it's all shawls, but it doesn't matter the pattern, just whatever one you want, and we'll just, you know, we can talk and chat about it, and you can upload your photos, and we can all talk about different things, you know, regarding it. I think that would be a cool idea. And that's really, honestly, all I really had for today. Not bad, 30 minutes. Yes. I just didn't want to make it overly long where people were getting bored with chilling with me here. As I usually like to do at the end of my episodes, whether you guys want to comment below on YouTube or hop over to Ravelry and, you know, on the thread, leave your comment there. Do you guys like to sew? And if you do, like I said, like suggestions on where you guys love to buy your fabric at, or what, or even tell me, you know, what's your favorite thing to sew? And what are you working on? Knit, crochet, sewing, embroidery, I don't care. What are you guys working on? And that's where Ravelry would be really, really cool, because then you guys can upload your photos of what you're working on. So I really love the idea of the Ravelry group. Thank you. I should have had your name written down for below, who has commented on a previous episode about doing a Ravelry group. Thank you, because I'm definitely on it. So please join me there, and I don't know if I'll make another episode before the end of the month. Otherwise, I will see you guys next month in probably the beginning weeks of March. March. Well, thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you next time. Peace out. Craft on.